Alright, hello nerds. This video is a review, actually 8 years late, for the Thinkpad T410. Alright, you can see, maybe you cannot see around here that it says T410. So, why this laptop? I mean, why will someone choose um, this model? I mean, it has pretty nice things. Like, for example, you see the screen. The screen is not um, doesn't have a screen ratio of 16:9. It has a screen ratio of 16:10, and it's actually pretty good for real estate is pretty good. I mean, you can. I never complain. I can watch movies. I mean, it's the perfect ratio. Let me just adjust this thing here. All right, here we go. So, this laptop, wasn't my choice. I mean, it's what the market had. I mean, where I live, which is El Salvador, I mean, you don't see many of these computers. I mean, you can get a new one, of course, but getting an actual used one for less is pretty tough. You can get X61s, T60s, or some other lower end series like the Edge series, but getting an actual T series is from a modern T series is pretty tough. Anyways, um, you can see that it has a Core i5, and I would like to show you this computer so you can be aware of many of all the specs, of course, but you can search for that on the Think Wiki. But I really want to show you the design flaws and maybe some other design features that maybe you will be interested into, or whatever it said. I mean, I don't care, but I just want to show you how it was made. All right. So, well, first of all, you can see that this computer has all the shit things that you unscrew, all the um, all the ease of access for the internal components, which if I unscrew here, you will find the RAM. It has a DVD burner, a card reader, some smart card, whatever thing. The real nice thing about it is that it has right here a physical radio switch, so you can switch all your radios off, including Bluetooth and your Wi-Fi. It will actually give you quite some more battery time. um, yeah, this laptop, I'll cut to the chase. I mean, you see how much the trackpad is being what was used. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but this spot is real fucking um well, as well as this, the left click is really fucking deteriorated by the oils from someone else's skin and fingers, right? Mostly fingers. And because of that, you can see that that person didn't use the track point much. Well, this is not the original keyboard. Actually, it's not even the original screen. This is the I'll turn it on. This is the 1600 by 900 resolution screen, which is the higher resolution model, because you could also get the shittier screen, which is the 1024 by 768, or the 1610 aspect ratio equivalent of that. Yeah. So um, it had an accident. This computer had an accident, and actually, I spilled some coffee on my bag, and the screen got fucked up. The backlight got ruined, and I had to hunt on eBay for the very same model. I mean, I was gonna scrap this computer just because I wasn't gonna keep the lower resolution model. But since I found one, and I managed to get a real one with real good condition. It's in really good condition. I mean even the previous screen that I had, which means the whole assembly, right? Did not have this sticker. I mean, it was peeling off, and I managed to fuck it up even more. But this one is pretty much pristine. Pretty much. Well, it's dirty, like over here, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, the dust is what gives it the appeal of being tough, like being an engineer. Even though I'm just a fucking graphic designer or something like that. But I'm an engineer with this computer. Well, anyways, I was telling you about the trackpad, which was heavily used, but as you can see here, I'm sorry if it's a bit slow. It's not the computer's fault, oh, but actually has a well, what I don't want to show this, but because I'm really I'm dancing, like the dance that males do towards females. Um, that kind of movement is actually has to be hidden, because I ain't gonna explain my game here. That's for another video. All right. So, anyways, the trackpad is very good indeed. Um, which is why it was heavily used. Fuck, it's well, thank God it's just a sticker, but it's really fucked up. And the left click, as I told you, is really shiny. But that doesn't really matter. It works. It works. I don't really care. Well, I care about the condition of the keyboard. In fact, this is the new Chiconi brand keyboard, which I believe there were three manufacturers for these keyboards, which is actually the same keyboard for the T420, which is next generation, with the Sandy Bridge Core i5s, Core i7s, Core i3, whatever's. The thing is that what was I about? Well, since this shit was heavily used, um, it warped. I mean, pressure from doing all the gestures, I believe, is what caused this thing that I'm gonna show you, and which actually impacts. Well, I don't think you can see this, but maybe you will. I have put some electrical tape just to fill the gap, because this thing, this the the this cover, this thing, this whatever thing, plastic cover thing, that's actually the part of the whole front assembly in which the keyboard is resting on, and on which the trackpad is built in. This thing got warped, so it got like, yeah, it got warped. I mean, there's a gap here because the pressure kept the this material from, you know it kept from it being, what the fuck, I don't care about battery. All right. It warped. I mean, if you don't understand me, then, well, it's like, shit, man. I'll try to explain it one more time, because I really don't want to talk about this, because this fucking warping actually affects the whole integrity of the computer. I mean, if it wasn't for the electrical tape, this thing will have a gap right here, a gap, because it warped. Now there is a gap, and this plastic, I don't know what's called, cover, and I know it has another term. Um, no, it's not bezel. Bezel is this fucking shit, right? But this thing, this plastic cover, um, has to rest on the um, underside plastic structure, right? So it rests just above it, makes pressure, makes yeah, like they rest upon each other. And when this shit gets warped, because it's some form of, I don't know, it's plastic with supposedly carbon fiber or some shit like that. Um, but it's really good plastic, really cool. When it gets hot, it doesn't get, well, of course it gets hot, but like my previous computers, it's not a hot that it's on some deeper level. And you feel that the fumes are actually being absorbed by your fingers, and that's why you just don't want to touch the computer. It feels so hot and so bothersome. And while this actually has a really cool, fucking cool, um, cooling system, cooling design, it doesn't get very hot. But when it gets hot, um, you won't be bothered by it, really. Anyways, um, I had to put some tape on it because I the first the previous cover, this shit, I will call it the trackpad assembly. Sorry, sorry. Um, this is the second one. The one that came with the computer, maybe because of the same reasons, had a crack over here, and people always ask. Well, when this was new, some people always asked that. Well, the T410. Um, well, they don't ask. They actually just confirm that has some design flaw in which the they get a crack over here, and it had the same fucking crack over here. But I think it's a problem of when you just don't assemble it together after some repairs or some service, in that or not enough torque is applied. Maybe not enough or too much. Too much is not much of a problem because I apply um, all the quite a bit of force, and I screw the screws all the way in, so and I don't have a problem with that. But maybe not doing that is what causes the frame to creak, to go like like a fucking tree on a stormy day. Yeah, like an old tree, and that's bad because that's gonna cause the cracks. It doesn't have to sound at all. This shit sounds a lot if I remove the electrical tape. The electrical tape is filling the gap between the two fucking pieces of plastic, the bottom and the top cover of it. And well, now it doesn't crack. I mean, I can rest my hands here and don't feel the creaks and the noises, and all is well because I know I won't fuck it up because I want this thing to last. Yeah, I'm sorry if I went on and on. I don't want to make this video too long, but well, I think that's the important things to say because boards configurations are meaningless, are fucking meaningless. I mean, you can search that yourself, but I'll explain some stuff that maybe doesn't get much attention. Well, the actually the card reader is takes the full card in, which is pretty cool, pretty damn cool, right? Um, let's see what else. Well, you can open it with one hand, but you gotta have some technique. I mean, you can open it with one hand all the way in. Well, sometimes you do, yeah. Well, I guess you can. Sometimes it's kind of heavy to do it. It's not so light. I mean, you gotta apply some momentum to it because doing it slowly it works, but it gets um, harder and harder, and it's just better just to do it this way. And because this structural integrity has been tampered with, it doesn't see how it sounds when I close it and the latch gets locked. It's not as smooth as it was before. As was before, it was just like one. Now it's like more kind of fucked up, but I don't care. I mean, I just lift it up, I just unlock it with one hand and then open it. And when I'm gonna close it, same thing, and it's done. I mean, won't open by itself. Um, I prefer doing that. Might be bothersome for some of you nerds, but I rather have structural integrity rather than cracks or noises. Um, yeah, so it's got the think light, which is pretty good. In fact, I would say better than backlit keyboard in some cases because, well, sure you're gonna bother people in the plane, but you nerds are not going to get into planes and into airplanes and or buses. Well, maybe buses, but but not in work and stuff. Well, in case you do, I mean, you might bother the passenger besides you. Not like it matters. I mean, you're being productive. Fuck him. Fuck her. But the good thing about the thing light is that you can see the fucking um, the fucking ports. I mean, you see that shit. That's my those are my instruments. Um, Sometimes I work at night and I cannot have much lights on because my family bitches about it. They say you gotta fucking turn off all the lights because I cannot fucking sleep. You are being an asshole to everyone. I need to wake up at 5 a.m. You stay up until 8 a.m. You do this shit. You waste money. You waste your well, anyways. So I gotta keep all the lights turned off, and the thing light comes really useful. I mean, I can see the ports, disconnect them. Well, maybe not. Well, yeah, sure, I can connect them because some light actually reflects back some way, and I can barely see the holes for this for on this computer, all the ports. If you want to see the ports, I'll give you a quick view of them. Well, the firewire, which I never use. This USB port is charges up all your USB devices or anything else as long as the computer is connected to the with the power adapter. Otherwise, it won't get a charge. Let's say you need charge for your phone. You're on a trip. I'm sorry, your phone won't take charge if the computer is off. You gotta turn it on. It will only take a charge when it's off, when it's connected to the power. All right. So nothing here. You can see that the previous owner dropped it, and this got fucked up. It had some grills still, the plastic plastic shit grills, which prevents you from touching this hot um, cooling fan. I removed them because it looked worse, but it doesn't really matter. Some well, I think this is not from a flamethrower that got nearby the AC adapter or a spark. This is just some glue which was maybe I put the glue on, but I think someone else did that too. I don't remember because of the very same drop. Somebody dropped this shit straight on this vent, like you can imagine that shit. Oh, and I dropped this recently, and I was really high, and I sat on the floor, and I was being lazy, and I just took it with one hand, and I dropped it, and it bounced. It landed on the fucking battery. I mean, the center of gravity uh, leans. I mean, makes if you drop this shit, it tends to fall down with the heaviest part first, right? So it's gonna turn like this because this part actually weighs a lot, and it pretty much bounced. So no harm. I rather harm the fucking battery than the I'm sorry for my cursing, but I'm actually pretty nervous because I don't know if this video is gonna be useful, but I think it will. I think it will because I think the T410 is actually pretty nice buy, and I think you should get one because of the aspect ratio. Um, it's pretty good. I mean, pretty. It's not slow. It has still the Seagate Momentum 7200 RPM, which is once it gets going, it becomes fast. I mean, just as fast as any SSD. But one thing to remember is that the SATA port, which has two, one for this for the DVD drive or any other caddy, you can put another hard drive in, and the hard drive slot are SATA 2, right? So it's not SATA 6 gigabits per second. So yeah, I've tested an SSD with this computer before, and it was fast. Sure, it was fast. Not as fast as my other computers with SATA 3 ports, right? But it was fast enough. But I even have a hard drive right now, uh, and it's just as fast when it hits up, it gets going. But if I put it to hibernate, I don't know if it's due to the low amount of RAM, which is has 4 gigs, the original config. Oh, and actually has the NVIDIA. It has the NVIDIA chip, just the basic one, the 256 megs one, the NBS 3100M Quadro NVIDIA chip, and actually has H264 hardware acceleration. So if you watch videos, I mean, and you put it even in the battery saving mode, maximum battery life mode, and you can actually watch a movie. Um, don't You won't waste much battery power. And I guess that's it. Hope it helps. If it doesn't help, well, um, get fucked.